From Atlanta, Georgia, it's At Home with AJ. And now, your host, Anthony S. and Jasmine.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. We're back. We're back.
Welcome to another segment of At Home with AJ.
My name is Anthony S.
And I am Jasmine. And we are
AJ. Yes, we are. Last time I checked, we were still AJ, right?
I know. And this is Lil Anthony. We haven't been giving him his spot in a while, so just want to say hello. He's still here, let you know he's still here.
He kind of told me he wanted to kind of chill for a while, you know.
And
Let us do our thing. He's a silent partner.
That's right.
Yeah.
He stays there. It's all about love.
Well, you know that. Well, look at his hands. Look what he got in his hands.
Don't start.
Love. How you doing?
I'm good, babe. I'm good. We got any good news today?
You know what? I do. Today, well, actually, a week ago, I discovered a new men's shop that's in the South Lake Mall. And I'm actually wearing something that I purchased from that particular men's shop. There wasn't, prior to October of last year, there was no really grown-up men's shop, sophisticated men's shop at the South Lake Mall. But now there is. Savvy Men's Shop at the South Lake Mall. I'm actually wearing one of their outfits right now. Savvy Men's Shop is in the South Lake Mall. That's in Jonesboro.
Big shout out to Jonesboro.
Big shout out to
Southside.
Big shout out to Savvy Men's Shop. Go see John and go see Max. Tell them Anthony sent you.
Oh, they'll love that.
Oh, they're gonna love that. I told them I was gonna give them a shout out.
Yeah, and they're also, speaking of shout outs and all that stuff, you know, we're getting ready for our big comedy show in September.
Yes, September 4th, Labor Day weekend.
And Savvy bought some ad space in the playbill. You know, we're selling spots, $10 for a full page and $5 for a mention, you know, and you can also be a sponsor. You can sponsor a table or a couple of tickets, you know, and we will put your name in the book.
Amen. Savvy, they were smart. We got to talk and they said, we want to be in that playbill.
Yeah.
Well, they put their ad in there and they're going to be in there. So when you come to the show, you will see a nice photo of their store and their name on it. And good move, Savvy.
We only have 4 more spots left, 4 more pages left to sell for the playbill, and we will be done and ready. I can't wait till September.
$10 to get your full page, $5 to get your little spot. Okay, so
and tickets are $20. Go to eventbrite.com and get your tickets. It's going to be a good time.
Can't
you
wait.
don't have to go to work the next day.
It's on a Sunday.
Yeah, and
September
the
4th.
next day is a holiday.
Hey, no excuse. You guys got to be there.
That's right. That's right.
Red Fox meets Mom's Mabley coming up September the 4th at the Palace Banquet Hall. That's in Jonesboro.
In Jonesboro.
It's the corner of
North
Avenue and Terra Boulevard. You can't miss it. Okay?
Plenty of parking.
And free parking at that.
And free parking.
Yeah,
That's right there.
Yeah, free parking.
So we got a couple of Ask AJ questions, or do you have some good news for us?
I got some good news.
Okay.
To tell. This is pretty cool. And this is ABC News, so this is pretty big. All right, so we got a man out of Memphis. This gentleman out of Memphis, he's being anonymous, raised close to $250,000 for a teenager. Check this out. For a teenager who offered to carry groceries in exchange for some food.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Food for him and his disabled mom. Okay? He is a straight A student who is doing his best to make it in the world with no money. and very little resources.
That is so nice.
Now, is that touching or what?
And he raised money for him?
Yes.
Wow.
$250,000.
That's great. That's great. I have to give it to him.
Okay.
No names?
They're anonymous. They didn't put any names up there. You know, sometimes, you know, people want to be anonymous.
You know, that's when it's real. That's when it's really
Yeah.
good and comes
Yeah.
from the heart. When you
Yeah.
don't want to, I mean, they're talking about it, but they're
Yeah.
giving no names, no, you know, no places or anything like
Right.
that. So you can say, hey, you know, good job.
Right.
That's when you know it's coming from the
A
heart.
lot of times when people give, they don't want nobody to know who it was from. So just give, and that's that. But whoever they're giving it to knows.
Well, you know what I always say, give and let it go.
There you go.
You know, once you give it, it doesn't belong to you anymore. And so, and give from your heart.
Give from your heart, y'all.
You know, that's how you
Give from
do
your
it,
heart.
right?
Well, you know, I always give from my heart.
That's right.
Especially to you.
That's right.
Hey, watch it.
Hey.
All right now.
We have a couple of questions, babe.
We do. We're good.
We do. And you know, of course, my gadget is going out on me, but I'll try to keep it on long enough. Do you want the first question or the second question?
It doesn't matter.
I'll do the first one and you do the second one. AJ, my name is Artra. My fiance is in the military and has been in there for almost 3 years. He now tells me that he wants to stay in for 20 years. My question to you is, should I stay with him? He is always traveling and I'm a homebody, but I want him home with me. What should I do? Well, Artra, looks like you don't want to be an army wife, military wife, whatever the case may be. And this is a good time to let him know that. I mean, you don't say how long you've been with him, but he's been in the military for 3 years, which means he was probably going to do 4 initially. But so now he wants to be a career man. Archer, from me to you, that is free education, free
Right.
education, home loan, all kinds of benefits military families get. You sure you want to give that up? But that's one side of it. The other side is, where's your heart? You know, if you're tired, if you want something else, if you see something else for yourself, then go for it. You know, let him know, hey, this isn't working. Baby, you let me do all the talking. I'm starting to feel bad.
This is your moment. This is your moment. No.
Yeah, that's the other side of it.
This
You
is your
know,
moment.
follow your heart and do what you have to do for yourself. But I'm sure your mama would say, girl, you better stay with that man. You know, that's your future.
Follow your heart.
What do you say about that?
I agree.
With what?
What you just said. Follow your heart.
What do you mean? You mean follow your
Yeah, follow
okay,
your
I
heart.
got
That's what I'm
you,
saying.
I
Follow
got
your
you,
heart.
I got you.
Follow your heart. Now, what I want to also do is, I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to read this next one here. This is ladies first again.
Oh, you want me to do that one too?
I want you to do that one also.
Oh man.
Yes, ma'am.
But you're going to answer though, right?
We can do that.
Here it is. AJ, I am writing to you from Miami, Florida. My name is David, and I consider myself to be a ladies' man. But there is one lady that won't give me the time of day, and I think it is because I am a garbage man. Okay. Should I stop trying, or do you have any suggestions?
You know what? Bottom line is, he has a job that a lot of people wouldn't do. But you know what? That job pays good money.
It does.
I'll pick up some garbage. You're going to pay me $250,000 a year. You better believe I'm going to pick up some garbage. All right? So it's
That's
not
horrible.
about. It's not about. Why do you think a lot of people don't want to do? They think that, well, this is a garbage job, but they can pay more because they don't have a lot of people that's willing to go ahead and do that job. So they'll pay anyone big money to go ahead and do that. Now, to answer that question, hey, this lady, you said this lady is
Yeah,
not giving
but
you
you
the
know
time of
what?
day?
He's not sure if that's why she doesn't want him.
Well,
it could be a number of other
well,
things.
well,
He must be feeling a little self-conscious about being a garbage man.
Well, no, I don't think. I really think is she's looking at what he's doing. First of all, if she knew how much he was making, that wouldn't matter to her. Okay, but see, a lot of people
that
turn their
shouldn't
nose up.
matter.
No, it
That
shouldn't.
shouldn't matter,
But no, it shouldn't. But a lot of people look at it's all material things. They always look at what you're driving. They always look at what you're wearing.
right.
They're judging a book by the cover. You can't because that bum can be a millionaire. You see, so hey, you can try a few more times. If she don't see the light of day that you are the best thing for her, then step off and move on. Okay, that'll be her loss. I mean, hey, he's trying.
Well, ladies, man.
He's trying, and you see what's going to happen is somebody else is going to grab him up and say, "Oh man, you can pick up my garbage anytime." Okay, because he's probably making some very good money anyway.
Oh, I'm sure.
Smelly job,
I'm sure.
but somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do
Somebody's
it.
got to do it. There it is.
There
That's
it
my
is.
answer. Hey.
That's good, babe.
Hey. Ask AJ. Okay. This is just an opinion. You write into us, we answer your questions. This is our opinion. You can take it, to heart or just say whatever.
Yes, and send your questions to Anthony Jasmine
5659
at
yahoo.com.
and we will answer them the best
Yeah.
that we can.
We'll give you an honest answer. Sometimes the truth is hard to swallow, but we'll give it to you. So hey.
So
man.
we all ready for our guest tonight?
I'm looking at your red. The red and white is fly.
No, you're red.
fly.
Why you looking like the Candy Man?
Watch it now.
I know.
Watch it. Hey. We'll talk about that later.
So, are you excited?
I am elated.
Yeah.
Good word.
You're elated.
Elated.
I like
beyond
that
excited.
word.
That's a little bit above excited.
Our next guest, I've known him for a number of years.
Interesting.
He and his wife, and he's very well known in
Yes.
the Atlanta metro area. And I'm not going to tell you what he does. I'm going to let him tell you.
Yeah, don't give it away yet.
I
Don't give it
know,
away.
I know.
Little Anthony, don't say nothing.
But he is awesome. Everybody, please put your hands together for
Mr. Eddie Crane. Look at Eddie.
How you doing?
Eddie's in the
How you
house.
doing, Ed?
Eddie's in the house. Eddie is in the
Right
house.
to the middle.
How you doing?
Crane.
Good to see you.
Eddie Crane.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you slide over Eddie a little bit?
So
Right
come on,
there.
sit right there in the
Right
middle.
there in the middle. Slide up a little bit more.
you go.
We got room for you.
Yep,
You
yep.
gotta get
There you go.
dead on point on that camera right there. Ladies and gentlemen, the sensational, the one and only,
The man.
Listen,
the man. I do this to Eddie Crane,
what he's
Mr.
talking about.
He knows what I'm talking about. Everybody down here, and actually probably across the board knows this man right here, Mr. Eddie Crane,
Yeah,
y'all.
every time I told somebody, I said, ooh, we're going to have Eddie on the
You
show
know
next
how-
week. They'd be like, that's the man.
You know how hard it is to get
Man.
you, to tie you down, even talk to you on the phone.
I've heard.
We call your number. I'm not home right now. Call me back later.
You have to stay busy.
I'm telling you.
And
Stay
you,
busy.
and you are a busy
You busy, man.
Eddie.
You busy.
Hey, are you from Georgia?
You're from Atlanta. Yeah.
Grady,
Born and
baby.
raised?
Born and raised
How
in
come I
Atlanta.
did
Grady?
not know that?
Grady baby.
Oh, there you
You
go.
Grady
are
baby.
you are a Grady
Grady.
baby.
Grady baby.
Okay.
19.
Okay. There you go.
I know.
Grady.
And so I do know some things about you. I know you're into music, you know.
Wholeheartedly.
And a lot of folks down here know that you play the drums.
Yeah, man.
A
What's
lot of
what's
people
this?
don't know that I play
They
drums.
They
That
don't
was
know.
a
They
long
don't
time
know.
ago. They do
They don't know. They'll
Because
do
I
that.
retired in 1993.
Why you retire?
Well, you go in the club and you play in clubs during that time.
Okay.
And I'm coming out of the club one day and my son was coming in.
Oh,
Time to go.
Time to go.
Time to go.
yeah.
Time to go.
Oh wow.
But still, I mean, you can still, as a hobby, just keep kicking.
It was time
Keep
to give
kicking.
it to the younger generation.
Pass it down. Okay.
Time to give it to them.
Okay.
So who were you playing with back then?
Back then, I started out playing. I had my own band way back in the 70s. It was a band called Grand Heat.
Grand Heat.
Oh,
It's called
there's
Grand
that.
Heat. That was
Okay.
a
Grand Heat.
very popular band during that time.
Wow.
And later on, it went on to I played with Fahrenheit. And from Fahrenheit, we
Well,
changed.
Tabitha and all them.
Yeah, Tabitha, Baby
Lady
Doll,
T, Baby
George.
Doll.
You
Jackson.
actually played in Fahrenheit.
I actually played in Fahrenheit. I think I was probably the first drummer to actually join the band. The drummer they had when I met them was a temporary drummer.
Okay.
And he was only there until they found a drummer. And some kind of way we ran into each other, and I ended up playing drums for Fahrenheit. This is back in the 19-something.
Now, everybody,
Okay.
Fahrenheit is a very popular band in Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of folks know them down here, and Eddie, you used to manage them too at one point, kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. After Jimmy White retired, he turned it over to somebody else, and they in turn turned it over to myself and Roy Hill.
Okay.
And we kind of managed the band up until it became the Height Band.
The Height.
We changed
okay.
the name to the Height. Actually, the Fahrenheit belonged to Jimmy White.
Right.
And we didn't want to keep that name, so we decided to change it. But everybody used to always say, when we walked into the club, "Here comes the Height, here comes the Height." It was just short for Fahrenheit.
Right.
So since everybody was calling us Height, we just kept that name.
Come to the Height.
And we changed it to Height.
Were you drumming like in '97? I moved here in '97. Were you drumming then? Because I've seen Fahrenheit. It was one of my first bands that I've seen. What's the club? That
20
was
grand.
20 grand.
No, I was.
Okay.
I
Were you
retired
there?
in '93.
Okay, so I didn't. Okay,
And
so
actually,
I didn't see you
in
after that.
'93, '91, I started doing sound.
Okay.
In '91.
Okay.
So in '91, I was kind of in between the two. I was playing drums on one gig and doing sound on the next. And so I was moving around
Yeah,
between the two.
so I came late. You was
Yeah, you
already
came
on.
late. You missed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he not only played the drums, he also sings.
I heard.
Here you go.
I heard.
I mean, and well.
You got stuff
I'll-
on CD Baby and iTunes and all that. Huh?
No, I don't.
Oh, come on.
Never
Eddie,
thought,
come on.
never ever thought about recording until now.
You were working
Never-
on something.
I was working on a blues album years ago, but I'm a drummer, and it's hard to make a blues album playing drums.
But
What?
you can sing. You don't have to play the drums. You can sing.
No,
I
And
mean,
I
play-
thought that's what that CD
you
was all about.
Play your beats and then do your singing on top of that.
That's not where my heart was. My heart was in sound.
You were playing on
I
that
was-
CD too? You were trying to play on that CD and sing?
I was going to sing and play every instrument,
Oh, he was going to do a Prince
Prince
thing.
thing.
every instrument on that. But my heart was not there. My heart was really in sound.
Okay.
And I remember once when I stopped playing in '93, I just got sick. I was just sick for a while. And I couldn't figure out what it was. But this guy called me. He wanted to borrow my drums for another drummer. And he said, we need to use your drums because the drummer didn't have any drums.
Right.
So I took the drums. I wanted to know who was going to use my drums. So, of course, I take my drums to the club. And I'm sitting there waiting on the drummer. He never shows up. So they said, well, you in for the night.
Right.
They tricked you.
Somebody got to do
Yeah,
it.
so I had to end up playing that night. And of course, he called me back the next week. Same drummer wanted to use my drums again. Of course, drummer didn't show up.
Did you know the songs?
Yeah, I'm a drummer. You can pick
Were they
Okay.
doing this on purpose?
I don't think so. The drummer just didn't show
okay.
up. So here it is now, 2 weeks in a row.
Just
I'm
didn't
playing
show. No
drums.
excuse. Didn't he say
No
he's not-
excuse.
oh,
Didn't
come
show
on.
up.
Okay.
6 weeks later, I'm still playing drums. But what I realized though, was I was not sick anymore. I felt better. So then I knew then that it was music. I was not in music. I was not in music. So sound reconnected for me. It reconnected all of those wires.
Now tell me something. Did you get into sound because you got tired of whack sound systems?
No, because that was the first system I had was a wax sound system. It was horrible, but I had to make it work. But I think that was the reason that I started to study sound, because I had some of the ruggedest equipment in the world. But I had to make it work because people were actually hiring me to do sound on that raggedy system. And I had to make it work.
Well, it must have sounded pretty good.
Yeah, well,
for
it-
them
No, he
to-
made it sound
You
good.
made it sound good.
It was what it was. And I had to make it sound
Well,
good.
well,
But that's
it was,
what
it
I
was
did.
good enough.
There you
It was
go.
good enough.
And so what's the name of your sound company?
Metro Sounds.
Metro.
Yeah, Metro Sounds.
I've heard of you.
And we've done sound
Metro.
for everybody. We've
Wow.
done a lot of sound. We've installed sound systems. We've done the major concerts. And I'm kind of past that point now.
What about, I was telling Anthony, you've done the Georgia Baptist Convention?
We still do it's called the General Missionary Baptist Convention, which is a part of the National Baptist Convention.
Right.
And we do all of that stuff for them.
Okay.
All of it.
I've been to a mini concert, Wolf Creek,
Okay.
Chastain.
Yes.
Have you been involved in those concerts?
I haven't done Wolf Creek and Chastain, but we've done arenas. We've done arenas like Macon Coliseum, Civic Centers,
Okay.
and then we've done some outdoor venues, Riverdale and places like
Yeah,
that.
Riverdale Sound- yeah.
But I haven't done the Chastains. I don't.
Okay.
I've never had an opportunity
Wolf
to do
Creeks,
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've worked on Wolf Creek stuff. Yeah.
They got good sound there. Whoever's doing the sound is fabulous.
I think-
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of the guy's name, but I
Yeah.
know who he is.
I've been
Yeah.
about maybe 8 concerts there.
Yeah.
Every time I go, the sound is just beautiful.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so whoever
There's
is
some-
working that board, 'cause
there are guys
I'm
out
sitting
here
right there.
now.
You know how you know where edge of the grass is right
Oh,
there,
yeah.
that first level. I'm always sitting in that spot, so I'm overlooking the sound people right there.
There you go.
The board is right there.
You can see
So
it.
I'm watching. I'm saying, now, who is that? Whoever's doing it, man. They got it
there
together.
are some young guys out here now, man, that are just phenomenal.
They got it
and
together.
I applaud all of them.
They do sound.
That's doing sound. These guys, these young guys are coming up,
Yeah.
and all this new digital equipment, and they grasp it real quick.
Do you use digital stuff?
Yes, we use all digital. I was reluctant to move completely away from it because I love analog. I still do.
Me
I
too.
love
I
analog
do too.
sound. But along with analog means you got to carry a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that.
And it's
I gotta carry
heavy, it's
compressors,
heavy stuff.
gates, EQs, and with the digital stuff, all you need is a console. Just bring a console. So that alone kind of steers you away from the analog stuff.
Do you feel like you're cheating a little bit? You know, it's kind of like music today. You know, with all that sampling and everything. You know.
No, totally different, because the difference with sound is that you still have to know what you're doing. You can sample and not know anything, not even know the song. Just cover your mouth with the mic, you know, and pretend you're singing.
But you can't do that with
You're
sound.
not going to be able to fool the artist. You're not going to be able to fool the artist with audio, with sound.
Okay.
They know what they want, and you got to be able to deliver that. The audience is even demanding, you know, so you have to know what you're doing when you're doing sound.
That's true. I guess it's either going to sound good or bad, right?
And even that's a matter of opinion. You know, what sounds good to you may not sound good to you. So
Right.
even that's a matter of opinion. The good thing about it is there's only one sound coming here tonight. You know, I mean, at the concerts.
Yeah.
Right.
There's only one, in most cases, there's one band here tonight. So like them or not, that's the only band that's here.
So is it
So-
is it so your objective is to basically number one, first have the artist sounding the way they want it to be sound?
Artist is first.
It's first,
You
okay.
have to make sure that the artist is hearing what they need to hear.
Okay, let's say you got Charlie Wilson. Okay.
Yes.
And he's got a full band, 8 pieces,
Okay.
horns, 4-piece rhythm section, backup singers.
Okay.
Oh, the whole 9.
There you
okay.
go.
And then you got Charlie. So you got to make sure. Are you hearing Charlie's mic? Are you hearing the backup singers' mics?
Doesn't matter
Are you
what
hearing-
I,
what are you
doesn't really
hearing?
matter what I'm hearing. It's what they're hearing, and we
So
have
like
to make
if
sure
he say I want to hear some more highs, so you give them the highs. You give them what they want to
What
hear.
they want to
and
hear.
if they're satisfied, so are you not listening out here to say, hey, that's a little distorted, or
Remember now, if I'm doing sound for Charlie Wilson, I'm either going to be in one or two places.
Okay.
I'm either at front of house or I'm at the monitor console.
Right.
The guy at the monitor console is giving the artist everything that they want.
Right.
Now, I'll be the first to tell you, if I'm running front of house, Charlie ain't got nothing to do with that. That's mine.
okay,
Charlie has absolutely nothing to do with front of house.
Okay.
Charlie has only to deal with it's the stage. That's all he has to
and
deal
monitors,
with.
what he can hear.
The
through
monitors,
those
his
monitors.
I know
in
there's
ears
monitors
or whatever
right there
he's
in the
using.
front.
Yes.
And they're listening to, and they have something in their ear maybe.
And so, what
Yes,
is the
he's-
guy back here doing?
The guy back there in the back is the monitor. He's running Monitor World. He's actually controlling all monitors are all in-ear monitors.
Okay.
So Charlie says, I want to hear more keyboard. He's not talking to the guy that's sitting out at front of house.
You.
Okay.
He's talking to the monitor guy that's sitting over here. Sometimes that is me. I love running monitors, you know, as opposed to house sometimes. But Charlie is talking to this guy, and he's saying, I need to hear more keyboard. That guy will send the keyboards to Charlie's ears.
So you are listening to what the audience is hearing.
At front of house. I'm just
Okay.
what the audience
So-
See,
hears.
that's what I'm talking
Those are the
about.
big.
then.
So those are now the big speakers that we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. We're talking
Okay.
about front of house now.
Front of the house. So those are the
Yeah.
big giant speakers that lean.
That's the
leans
big
over
line array
like
you
this,
see hanging out there.
hanging out there, and you need to know that the audience is getting that full impact of sound.
That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to recreate what the artist is creating on the stage. You just want to reproduce that out.
It's like a painting. It's kind of like you're painting on a canvas.
Yes.
You know, you
Yes.
put the sound here, and then you mix it I know there's mixing involved.
It's a picture.
Yes.
It's a picture.
Yes.
What I'm actually, a lot of times what I will do is if I'm going to work with Charlie Wilson, since you mentioned Charlie,
Yeah.
and I haven't worked with Charlie, by the way, but if I had, I would have been studying Charlie at least a week or two before.
Oh,
I'm
see?
going to study Charlie's
hear-
music.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because I want to reproduce live what he reproduced or what he produced in the studio. In order to do that, I have to know his music,
Right.
where the bass is in the mix, where the guitar is in the mix,
Right.
and that's per song, not just overall.
Right.
It's like per song, what happens right here, what needs to happen right here, and then sometimes they'll even tell you, well, this is what I need to happen at certain places.
Right, because on his records, there were highs and lows on his record.
anybody's record,
You know, there's an excitement, you know,
Yes,
there's a build up, and you hear that on the record, so you try to reproduce that.
they can. For the most part, the band is doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my job to just put them out there. I'm not going to be playing the mixing board like a piano, saying, okay, well, I need to bring him up here and take him down here. The band is actually doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, my job is to I'm doing sound reinforcement. Wherever they send me, I'm going to put it out to the audience as the front of house engineer. As the monitor engineer, I'm going to send them what they want to hear in their ears or to their monitors.
Which one do you prefer to do?
I kind of prefer the monitors. I prefer monitors. That's really where I started. Is when I started doing it professionally for bigger groups, I really started on monitors, working for a company called MixFix.
Mix fix.
And I started doing monitors. And believe it or not, I was working for Travis Tritt.
Okay.
I was the monitor engineer for Travis Tritt on some gigs, not his regular guy, but on some gigs I was doing monitor work for Travis Tritt.
Wow.
And it was amazing to me because at that time it was a weird situation because nobody wanted to go out on the stage. His guitar cable had a short in it. And it's like 8 or 9 sound guys here, and nobody would go fix his guitar. I realized he was struggling, so I walked out on the stage, snatched the guitar cable out, stuck another cable in it, and put it in his amp.
And
he
kept
looked,
it
he
moving.
looked over at me and he said, "Thank you, brother."
Why,
He's-
Wow.
why didn't you had 8 sound people? Why didn't someone go and save them?
Nobody would move, and I saw he was
Did
struggling.
they not know what was going on?
Yes, they knew it. They knew what was going on.
Oh,
but
they didn't
nobody,
they didn't-
nobody thought that they could go out on the stage and help him. Nobody thought they should do that.
Right,
but I
right.
just went out and snatched the guitar cable out, put another one in, plugged into his amp, and he looked at me and said, "Thank you."
It's common sense. The man's not
Wow.
sounding good.
Yeah.
His cable is short. Somebody better fix it.
Somebody got to fix it, so I
You
just
know?
took it upon
It's
myself.
like NASCAR.
Somebody-
You know when your car comes in
You
the
know-
pit, it's like
Right. Okay.
Somebody gotta
you
fix
got
it.
the car
Somebody-
come to the pit.
somebody
No, so
gotta
everybody's
do it.
standing with the drill. Like, what do I do? Okay.
Somebody has to change the
Because I know
tire.
you got
Yeah.
roadies. You got roadies who will do that.
yeah, because you see
Sometimes. You
people
see-
running around on the stage all the time.
You see
doing
roadies
stuff,
back there.
you know,
I've seen
you
roadies.
do
I've seen
what's-
roadies pick up stuff. Let's say the drummer lost 4, 5, 6. I've seen a roadie just grab.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I
know.
couldn't answer why nobody moved. I can just tell you that day nobody moved.
And
And
be
he
glad
was-
that you did.
Yeah, yeah. So I just went and did it for him, and I was
That
still
changed your life.
But,
What's the biggest show you ever done?
Oh man,
Well, you said you did arenas.
biggest show that we've done. I had to think back.
Was it
I don't
Phillips?
know.
Have you done Phillips?
I've worked on now. If I worked in Phillips, did I work at Phillips? No, we didn't do Phillips. We did the Macon Coliseum.
That's a
The
pretty big
biggest show
place.
that we did was over at the GICC, where we had
Okay.
5 rooms with
Right on
like
Camp Creek.
10,000 people.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
It's like
my
10,000 people,
Yeah.
but we had a killer sound
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
That was one of the biggest rooms I've ever done. It was a
Wow.
huge room.
And what's the best sound system in your opinion?
I don't think it's the sound system, it's the engineers.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the engineers. I mean, I've worked on some of everything. I worked on the wacky system, then I worked on some major stuff. But it really comes down to engineering.
Is sound like or somewhat the same as an engineer in a recording studio? It's still audio. You're dealing with sound.
Different world.
So you're you know that
Because you
engineer.
had your own studio too.
I used to have a
What's the
studio.
difference between what you do live on stage as opposed to you're in the studio and he's a singer and you're still that sound? It's all about sound. What's the difference?
It's a different world. One
Okay.
thing is in the studio, you don't have to worry about feedback so much.
Okay.
If you can control feedback, you can almost work for anybody because that's the hardest part of the
How
job.
do you control that?
Because the artist wants all these humongous levels, but you got to be able to produce that without feedback. One thing that helps that now is the fact of everybody wants to use in-ear monitors, so the monitors are actually leaving the stage, which helps with the feedback.
Okay.
But for the most part, in the studio, live, you only get one shot. In the studio,
Yeah, you can do it
Yeah.
there's
over and
retakes.
over again.
Retake.
yeah, you can do it till you get it right.
Take 30.
You only get one shot at getting
yeah.
it right live.
Right.
And my motto is we get it right the first time.
You have to.
That's my motto. We get it right the first time.
You have a crew that works with you?
Yes, it's actually about 5 of us total. Nobody works full time except myself, my wife, and one other guy. Hey, Roderick Woods. He works with us full time.
Oh, Roger, I mean, he's still okay.
Yes,
I
he still
remember
works.
Rod.
But we have other people that we call in, depending on the size of the job. Yeah, so we can go from 4 or 5 people to 12. depending
There
on
was
the-
a young guy that was working with you out at Marshall's. Is he still with you
Marshalls.
too?
I have to think back.
He was helping Roderick.
That might have been a guy that he brought to
Okay.
help him.
Yeah.
He probably brought that guy to help him.
Okay.
Oh, that was a gig.
Yeah.
So you was at that gig.
Oh yeah, kind of, sort of.
I turned Marshall's was a job that I did for a minute, but it was only to set him up in that job. It was to set
okay.
Woods up in that job.
Okay.
But
And
that
he's
was
still
not a
doing
regular.
it.
He doesn't do Marshall's, but he's still doing some places. Yeah, he does some churches now also. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you? Eddie Long does a lot of recording
Yes.
at his church.
Yes.
I wouldn't put it past Creflo also.
I think they have an in-house studio.
They have
Yeah,
studio.
they
Because I've been to
do.
both churches. I've been to both
Yeah.
churches. And I visited both churches, and a lot of recording artists
Yes.
in the gospel world record there, especially
Sure.
especially Eddie Long's church. Have you ever dealt or done work with them?
No,
in
no.
churches?
The thing now is everybody is recording in churches now because the church has the finances
Oh yes.
that it takes to put these elaborate sound systems together. They're building in-house studios
Yes, yes.
that's
Oh,
second
yeah.
to
Oh, yeah.
none.
Nice
Yeah.
And the good thing
studios.
about it now using the digital format is that 99% of all the digital consoles, if not 100,
Yeah.
will record multi-track live. So
Right.
most of the times, even when you don't think they're recording, they are
They are
recording.
I was at Eddie Long's church. I would say probably it might have been about 8 years ago. You had artists up there like BB and CeCe Winans.
Yeah.
You had Yolanda Adams. You know, this was like some type of concert they were doing, some kind of benefit thing. But the sound was incredible
Yes.
coming out from those monitors. I mean, not the monitors,
Coming from the
speakers.
PA system.
The
Yes.
PA system.
Yeah.
The sound.
You were at Eddie Long's
I was
church?
saying, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
he-
visiting. I went to a show there.
They're gonna have the best.
The sound was so incredible. It looked like he was just felt like he was on stage.
And
with
it's
them.
not
It was
necessarily
beautiful.
his sound system more than it is his crew. His crew is a
Yes.
professional crew. These guys are no joke. That's not somebody that volunteered in church to be a sound engineer.
Right.
He
Yeah.
brought in professional people
Yeah.
to do sound.
I mean, not only did the artists, of course, they can sing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, BB and Yolanda, these cats can sing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it sounded like they was on a record. I mean, the way that thing sounded.
Yes,
The way
yes.
that sound sounded like they was recording a record.
That's engineering.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And being an artist myself, I can hear.
Yes.
I can hear that
Yeah.
it was crystal clear. They sounded actually something better than the record.
That's for an engineer. That's what you're trying to
Yeah.
get to. That's exactly what you're trying to produce.
Yeah.
Is a sound that sounds like they did when they recorded it.
Yes.
If you can produce that sound, that's why I'll tell you now, I'm a student of sound. I still study sound. Every day I study sound. We can go to a music store and I'll pick up a stack of pamphlets this tall and I'll tell my wife, you drive, I gotta read.
Wow.
And before we get back to the house, I've read those pamphlets. There's probably equipment that I've never touched or never owned that I can operate only because I've read the manuals.
And now with your business, if someone wanted to, you rent equipment.
Yes, we rent sound equipment.
Yeah.
Normally not to the degree that we rent it. You come and get it and you take it out. We do some of that, but not a lot.
Okay.
Most of the time when you call us, we are going to do the production. You
Okay.
call us, we're going to bring PA, we're going to bring lighting,
Okay.
and we're going to do it. But there are some instances where you can call us and you have a band you need a regular PA system, we will rent you a system to use
Okay.
for an extended period of time.
But it's not a general, that's not what you do
That's
per
not
se.
generally what we do, no.
So
No, they hire you for sound. Okay.
So when
Yes.
when a customer wants you, when they want
Yes.
to hire you, they're doing an outdoor event.
Okay.
Okay, it's outdoor now, so that sound is different from indoor.
Yeah,
That I do know.
there you go.
Do you ask the customer X amount of questions? Well, what type of show is this? What kind of artist? What type of artist? Is it a band? Is it just singers? What is it? Do you
Yes.
you go through a series of questions
Yes, it's important that we know exactly what we have to produce.
to know what you should
Is
bring
it,
to the,
are
to
there
the
going to
table?
be tracks? Is it going to be a
Is it
band?
live?
Right. There's
Yeah.
so many things.
How many bands?
There's so many things that you probably have
Yes.
to ask that customer.
Yes.
Like you just said, are they singing with tracks?
Yes.
Okay. Some are, and then some are singing live with the band.
There you
And
go.
Those are two different kinds of
Yeah.
sounds. You got
How big are the bands?
How big the band?
That's
right.
going to tell us what size console to bring.
I see.
Whether we're using 16, 32, 64, depends on how big the bands are.
So you designed the sound and the system based on the
On the event.
The
On
event.
Based on the event,
The event.
Yeah.
and what we have to do.
Right.
And a lot of times today, unlike it used to be back in the 70s, 80s, if there was an Earth, Wind, and Fire concert coming up, there was one warm-up act, and then there was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Right.
Now you can go to a concert, and there's 6 acts,
Yeah.
especially the blues acts. And
Yeah.
the R&B
Oh, yeah,
acts,
yeah.
there might be 5 or 6 acts on the show.
Right.
Thank God for digital, because you can save the scene. You can do sound check, save the scene for that band. Okay, next band come up, you save the scene for that band. Then when they come up to do the show,
Now, what do you mean save the scene?
what we're talking about now is a band coming up to do sound check. And let's say we got 3 bands. Now, on an analog console, you have to dial in that band. You dial that band in. And now you got another band that's going to come up and do sound check. But this board is set for this band.
Oh.
Right.
This band's coming up.
And before
So
you
now,
you had to change everything
you got to change everything because they want something
and
totally
then change
different.
it back when you
And
go.
then change it back.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
So-
Now, with the advent of digital consoles, it's going to allow us to save a scene and say, this is that band. So when this band comes up, we do the sound check for them, and we save that scene. Of
Right.
course, now, we wait an hour, now it's showtime. We go back to scene 31.
You can
for
press
that
a
band.
button
Press a
and
button.
come up with their
It-
system.
It's
their
just like,
sound.
we're on
Yes.
Facebook, we want to save something. We just save it. Or just saving a picture. We push save so we
Yes.
can find it.
Exactly. That's
Same
what it's
thing.
doing.
Wow, technology.
Yes.
Something else.
You can
Yes.
save a scene. You can save that whole event, that whole sound.
That has saved us
Wow.
a lot of time
It sure
between,
has.
between bands, because there were a time when if you were going to use 2 bands,
Yeah.
that was going to be an hour between 2 bands just to change up.
You
Right,
saved,
right.
saving. You saved all of their levels and all of everything that
Everything.
they should have.
Everything is saved.
It saves. All you gotta do is
Yes.
go boom.
Hit a button and it's automatic. It's going back. You see
All the
faders
levels will go up
moving.
to right where you
Yes.
it's supposed to be.
Yes, right where we
That's
have
digital.
up and sound check. That's
Well,
that digital world. Thank
Wow.
God for digital world.
Well, Eddie, look like
Hey.
so you're not gonna ever go back into singing and playing, huh?
Oh no! This is it for me. I'm
Really?
in a home stretch now, and my thing now is, let me just tell you where I am now. Where I am now is setting up for the person that's coming behind me.
What do you mean?
I'm in a home stretch. I'm 60 now.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys coming up behind us
Uh-huh.
that just needs to be trained. A lot of guys coming up behind me that doesn't need any training. They're already there. At this point, I've got a band. It's important for me.
And what's the name
That-
of that? What's the name of that band?
The name of the band now is the ATL Groove Factory.
Hey,
Awesome group.
shouting out to
But
the ATL group.
yeah, shout out to the ATL Group
There you
Factory.
go.
But for me, it's about them now. It's not about me anymore. It's about them, and I have to just make sure that everything that I'm setting in place is going to be there when I'm no longer here. That's why I say you have to give until you give out. You just keep giving until you give out. And when you give out, that's you're going to give it to somebody else.
The moral of the story is you saved a spot for them.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
It's
saved a spot for them.
it's about them. As I approach the different things that I have to tackle every day, it's never about me anymore. It used to be. It used to be. But now it's about what can I do to further this band for them? What can I do to get them to the next level? I may not see it, but I can prepare for it. And that's what we do.
Now I'm listening to you, but 60 is the new 40. But
Yeah, but speakers, even though the light speakers are heavy, the light speakers are heavier than they used to be.
Well, that's where roadies come in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But,
I mean, you don't expect to be lifting all of this
yeah,
equipment.
you hire roadies.
Don't you have
I
your
have
crew?
a love for music. We got a crew.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do me any good to stand back and look. You got to be in it.
I hear
You
you.
have to be
Gotta get
in
your
it.
hands
Yeah,
dirty,
you have to
right.
be in it all the time. You got to be in
Okay.
it.
But
And-
I was going to say to you, you're saying you're saving a space for them.
Yeah.
Do you have children?
Yeah. Sure.
Are they in the business too?
Yes, they are, but they're in their business. My son works with Waka Flocka. He's out there on the road. In fact,
Waka Flocka.
he
Yeah,
called
he's
me.
something.
He texted me the other day. The way I
Waka
keep up with him is on
Flocka.
Facebook.
Isn't
I
that
think he was
something?
in. He was
Wow.
in.
What does he do? What's he doing
He was
now?
in. I want to say Sweden, Australia.
Waka Flocka.
Yeah, he was
What-
over there last week.
What does
you
he
know.
do with them?
He's actually the DJ for Waka Flocka. He's on the
Isn't that
stage. There's
something?
three guys on
Alright.
the stage. It's
Waka
him,
Flocka.
Waka, and the drummer.
You don't think we
Get
knew about Waka
out.
Flocka? We know about Waka
Nice.
Flocka.
Yeah, see, we know about Waka
We know
Flocka.
about Waka
We know all
Flocka.
about Waka.
I know all about Waka
I
Flocka.
think before that he
That's
was
nice.
with Gucci Mane. I think before that, yeah, yeah. But Waka, if I'm not
Fabulous.
mistaken, Waka was Gucci's clothes guy. Waka was carrying Gucci's clothes.
And now he's out there
And now
doing
he's-
his
well, he's
own
been out
thing.
there. Waka Flocka's been
Waka
out
was
there.
learning.
Yeah.
He was learning the business. So he's doing his own thing now. Yeah,
Waka Flocka.
yeah.
And so how many children do you have?
Well, actually, I have 5 total. Actually, I have one that plays piano very well, rapper, and then I've got another one. Well, the one that's with Waka Flocka is a DJ, but he was a rapper coming up too. They're the only ones that's really into music. The 3 sons, the 3 older ones, are only ones that's really into music. The other ones are too young for that now.
I still say you got to pick them drums up and just hit them once in a while.
No.
Hit them once in a while.
You don't even feel it.
Hit
But
them once in
believe
a
it or
while.
not, the other night at rehearsal, the drummer was late coming to rehearsal, so I sat down behind the drums.
And it felt
Man,
good, didn't it?
I just don't have the legs and knees for it anymore. I want to double and I can't double.
But in
so.
your mind, you were saying, boy,
In my mind, I can still do
Man, I can
it. In
still-
my mind, I can still do it.
Hit that one
But my
hand
leg,
and
my
your
leg
leg
said,
gets-
you can't.
said
do
no,
that.
huh?
Yeah.
your mind said yes, your body said no.
Body says
Well,
no.
what about
Hey.
the singing? Let me tell you, I remember back in the 20 grand days, Eddie would have a mic and he'd be standing on the sidelines singing background with the group.
I
with-
still
with
do
Fahrenheit.
that. Yeah, I still do that. I do it from the mixing console now. I do it from the mixing console, and that's just the way I stay in it. You got to get your hands
Good
dirty.
for you. Good
gotta
for you.
still-
You do a
so
little
that's
something.
the
Good
way,
for
yeah,
you.
you got to do something.
I hear you.
Because you be hearing the background be sounding all full. You be, where is that other voice coming from?
They used to, Anthony, guess what? They used to come to the club, and they would be saying, "Those are tracks. Y'all using tracks.
Right.
This one right here. They using tracks."
Tell me.
And I would say, "Look at this mixing console. Use
Right.
the 16-channel console, and every light on the board is blinking. If I was
Okay.
using tracks,
Tracks.
it would have been left and right. It would have been 2." And I said, no tracks up in here.
No tracks.
This is all live.
All live.
But they thought we were using. It used to sound so good. They thought we were using tracks.
You were singing
Hey, I was
also.
a groupie.
Oh yeah, but I was singing from
was
the
a
console.
groupie, though.
Oh, well, a lot of people were. We had people that used to. There were times we would play, and we would look out in the audience, and the audience was musicians. The
Right.
whole
Checking
audience
out the.
Wow.
would be musicians. Roy called me one day, and I won't call this guy's name. And Roy, this is Roy's my partner in ATL Group.
I know. Shout
Roy
out to
called
Roy.
me. Roy Hill, what's up, man? He called me. He said, "Eddie," he said, "I'm over at this club." He said, "And this band is playing our whole show."
Whoa.
And I said, "What?" I said, "Who is it?" He said, "The same band that came to see us last month." And I won't call the names, but they did.
Wow.
He said they're playing our whole show. But we noticed that when they were there, they were writing.
Wow.
Yeah, they were writing.
Getting your song list? Yeah.
Roy has a philosophy. That is, he has this saying. Because we were playing in the club, we were playing at Ellery's, and a lady came up, and she was in the business too, and she stole Roy's set list.
Ooh.
And when Roy saw her get it, Roy looked at it and said, "But you gotta play it."
Right? That's right. You can take it all
He said,
day.
"But you gotta play it."
Yeah, play it.
So yeah, he has a saying that said, "Yeah, but you gotta play it."
So tell us, where is your next big gig big sound coming up? Where are you going to be
I
at?
don't ever plan to do another major concert.
Okay.
I'm past that point now.
You don't want to?
No, let me tell you why I'm past that point now. And I'm not name dropping or dollar sign dropping, but this band thing where we are now, I'm living a dream.
Wow.
Have you ever lived a dream?
Yep.
Have you ever said, this is what I've always wanted? Well, you know, we are, all of us had aspirations at some point to make it big in the business. That's what we all wanted. That's why we did what we do. Or that's why we do what we do. Well, I looked at it one day, and when I retired, that window closed on me. You know, I'm not going to make it now. I know Mel Waiters did when he was 60, but that didn't happen to everybody.
Right.
Anita
Right.
Baker made it when she was in her 50s. That's not going to happen to everybody.
Right.
Everybody's not going to hit the numbers. So I figured that door is closed. So what can I do now? And I called my partner one day, Roy Hill, who were playing in clubs, you know, making a little money, but not
I see Roy Hill's name all over
yeah.
Facebook. He's
Exactly.
everywhere. Yeah.
And I said, you know, man, I got it. He said, what's that? I said, we're doing the wrong thing. We have to change the way we think.
Right.
And I said, we are talking to the wrong people. He said, what do you mean? I said, we can make more money than we're making, but we have to take the same conversation to people that can pay the money that we need.
Right.
We're talking to the wrong people. So we went to a club one day, and the club owner asked us to come and play, and I won't call the name of the club. And we went to talk to him. He wants to play in his club. And we told him how much money we were making. And he said, well, who pay y'all that much money? And we told him, and I think at that time we were only making like $3,000 a night.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we don't call names.
No, I mean, you're talking about going corporate, though, right?
We were talking about going corporate.
That's right,
We were talking about doing the corporate thing, and we had just kind of stepped into it, still not making a lot of money doing that, but the club on the calls and wants to play, we'll come and talk to you. And we did, and we told him how much we wanted. And he thought we were crazy when we told him we were making $3,000 a night. And lo and behold, we kind of figured out at some point, myself and Roy, that was not what we needed. That was not enough money. So we kind of sat down and we started studying what was happening. And all I can tell you now is I'm actually living a dream. I'm living in my dream right now. Where I am now is where I want to be. Doing major concerts can't pay me what I make now.
There you
Wow.
go.
It can't pay me what I make right now.
And you go out, what, maybe only on the weekends?
We go out on the weekends for the most part.
Right.
Maybe a Friday or a Saturday or a Friday and Saturday.
I know.
This past Saturday we were in Annapolis, Maryland. And we were back home Sunday night.
There you go.
And
That's where corporate is the money. That's where all the money is.
Well, you know what? We, Jasmine and I, we're living our dreams.
there you go.
You know,
There you go.
we both had a beginning.
Right.
You know, even before we started this, even before we even met. You know, I had, you know, started out in a band.
Okay.
Back in the 70s and 80s. Okay. Thought I was living the dreams then, but I realized now that wasn't really the dream. The dream is happening right now.
There you go.
Because I never thought that I would be doing this.
What you're doing.
What
Right.
I'm doing
There
right
you
now.
go.
I was an
Yeah.
artist. I
And
was
we
a
love
horn
it.
player for
We
years
love
and
it.
years and years, and a singer. Thought I was living the dream then. But right now, I tell you, I wouldn't trade places for anybody right now, because what we're doing right here
Exactly.
is a dream come true.
Yeah. I was talking earlier.
for us.
Yeah. And I understand that. I
Meeting,
understand exactly where
meeting
you're
all
going.
these beautiful people like
Yes.
yourself.
Same thing. I looked at your table of fame over there. and I'm looking at the table of fame and looking at
Yes.
these people sitting there. And
This
I'm like, these
couch
people
alone is very
yes,
famous.
the people that's coming.
The people have
oh, yeah,
come
you got
sat on this
Teresa
couch.
Hightower coming. Man, that was one of my favorite artists. You got,
The first show was D. Robinson.
oh, see, I'm
Our
D, I know
first
D.
show.
D called me.
You can't
I used
get
to
D.
talk to
Robinson.
D a lot. No,
you can't just
can't.
get D. Robinson.
Yes, I talked to D. I used to talk to D a lot.
Right.
In fact, we used to work. I think that's how I met D. I met you through D. And so I can see is that's what you're talking
Yes,
about.
this is the we're
I
living
mean,
our
it's
dreams right
awesome.
now.
Just meeting the people, talking to
Yeah.
everybody is
It's a dream.
It's
You
a
know,
dream
we
come
met.
true.
She's known a lot of people. You know, more than I have, but just meeting people just on the show here is a dream come true.
Yes, you have to like what you do. You have to love
Yes.
what you do.
We love it.
And I do. And I
And I
actually
understand
do.
what you mean. I
I
understand.
love it. That's why a few minutes ago we said, I think one of you said, you have to get dirty in it. I can't sit back and watch somebody work and enjoy it.
You got to get in it.
I got to get in it. I got to get in it.
But I mean, you have the
Hands
best
dirty.
of all the worlds, though. I mean, you're doing the sound that you love.
Yes.
You sing
I
every
still
now
sing-
and then.
I still sing
it.
from the mixing console.
Wow. See
Wow.
there,
I
and
still sing.
you don't play the drums.
I don't play
see-
drums. I don't play drums.
We got to get you out playing.
But that's
What about
but-
electronic drums?
No,
Not the
I
same,
want to
huh?
be behind the console.
Okay.
You know, when I leave here, I will be standing behind the mixing console.
This is where he belongs.
That's where I'll be.
This is
I'll
where he
be
belongs.
standing
This
behind
is
the
where he
mixing
belongs,
console.
right there.
Yeah, that's me.
That's beautiful.
That's what I love doing. See, believe it or not, that's where the magic is. And I can tell you how great
you
that.
make- you
I
make
can
it
tell you how
happen.
great that musician is and how good that musician is. But the magic.
Right.
That's where the magic comes from. It comes from behind the mixing console. And I don't care who the artist is.
Right.
The engineer has a suck button. Okay?
A suck button.
Yeah, he has a suck button. So if he presses that suck button, I don't care how great you are. But for the most part, all engineers want to get it right. We want to get it done. We want to get it right because that's our calling card. So
That's right.
That's what I'm back there for. That's what I want to create the magic. So when you see the crowd just going bananas,
It's because of what they're hearing.
it's what they're hearing. It's the sound,
sound.
engineer. And if you don't believe me, let him hit the suck button behind that same artist.
Well, that's
Let him-
true. That's true.
Wow.
He can make you or break you.
Yes. So, I mean, I remember times, and I know we have to wrap it up, but I remember, I was doing a concert, and I guess I shouldn't call this guy's name either.
Don't call him.
But
Go ahead, do it.
he wanted to he wanted to stand on the dance floor in front of the main speakers, and he didn't have the wind for it because he had open heart surgery. So I'm trying to tell him, go back up on the stage, man, because I can't crank your mic up that loud when you're right in front of the speaker.
Right.
Right.
But he wasn't getting the message, so he asked me, so what'd you say? And I said it in the microphone. He said, so, now you want to sing? And I said, I can.
Uh-oh.
And he said something else smart, and I hit the button. I told the club owner, he's through.
You hit the suck button?
Wow.
No. I hit the mute button.
Whoa.
And I told the club owner, he's done for the night. That's it.
Calling you out like
This is
that.
a major artist we're talking about.
We're not mentioning no names.
This is and I'm not calling his name.
No?
This is a major artist.
Oh, my goodness.
But I hit the mute button. I told the club owner, he's done for
Major
the night.
artist.
Major artist.
Big time.
He's done for the night.
Wow.
That's my PA system down there.
Wow.
He's done. But of course, the club owner came up, Eddie, please, okay,
Please,
all right,
right,
man.
right.
But just tell him to leave me out of his show.
Right, that's right.
Right.
And I didn't mean
It's
any
a matter of
disrespect to
respect.
him.
No, but it's a matter of respect.
But it was. And sometimes people tend to use their weakness because they are not what they used to be. And they try to find somebody to blame it on. And
Right.
sometimes they want to use the engineer. Now, in all honesty, we're supposed to take it and keep going. I just didn't feel that day. I didn't
I
feel
hear
that day.
And you had that right.
Yeah, I didn't feel that day.
That's your
But for
stuff.
the most part, yeah, I don't do that. I don't do
Right.
that. I don't do that. Yeah,
Hit the
Not all the
suck
time.
button.
right.
You did it because it was necessary at that time.
At that time, I thought
It's
we
an
did.
individual thing.
Exactly.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, Eddie, we my goodness, they're saying rapid, but we truly enjoyed having
We're
you
going to have to bring
here.
Eddie back
Enjoy being here.
for more
We always get to
conversations
talking, and
with-
there's so
yeah.
much we want to talk about.
You can't do it in one show. It's going to be a couple of shows. We're going to have you back, Eddie.
Yeah, we'll be glad to come back.
Oh, yeah.
We're
You
glad
got
to
to
come back.
tell everybody how they can get in contact with you if they want to
Right.
hire you, if they
Yeah.
want to
Oh,
hire
yeah.
the
Hire your
band.
company.
You can reach me on Facebook. You can look up Eddie Crane on Facebook. However y'all do that, Facebook/Eddie Crane, you'll find me. Just look up Jasmine and you look in her friends list, you'll see me. So you can find me anywhere. Or you can dial 404-454-5549. I know it's not the right thing to do, but I am in business, so you can call me. And I'll do whatever I can to help you, whether it's for sound, lighting, whatever you need us to do. We can probably take care of that
And they
for
can
you.
also Google you, too.
And they can Google
Yeah.
me, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
if
they
they don't
can
know all that, just
Metro.
Google.
Metro Sounds.
Metro Sound.
And so there it is, everybody. The man, Mr. Eddie Crane.
Yes.
Once again, here we are on At Home with AJ, where vision
And reality.
come
together.
together. Say goodnight, Eddie.
Say goodnight, Eddie.
Good night, y'all.
All right. Good night, y'all.